Hey guys, I haven't touched on this subject, and this has been a subject for the last couple weeks in the news. UPenn swimmer Lia Thomas, apparently she's setting records or something like that, and she's getting a lot of flack because she is a trans. Obviously, she was a trans. But here's the thing about it. She was a trans. She's a trans, all right? She was a man before. She's a woman now. And she's competing in the swimming competitions with women, and apparently she's just busting the whole entire setting records and just busting those records right open as far as women's swimming meets are concerned. Here's the thing about it. I don't care. All right, I don't care in the same manner where I don't care. Actually, to be honest with you, if you're gonna allow black people admissions into college before people of other races, most of the time Asians, they're literally holding Asians back. All right, and I'm just, this is just one example of colorism in society, in corporations, the education system, etc., where they push without merit a certain race of people just because of the color of their skin, just because of the victimhood, and they get preferential treatment as far as admissions into Ivy League schools or colleges, Harvard or whatever, when Asians and Asian Americans actually score a lot higher on their on the SATs or whatever. But all right, if they're gonna allow for that, which they are, and they're allowing for a lot of things, all right, black people have gone free stuff for like the last 25 years just off the victimhood, off the color of their skin. If they're gonna allow for that, then they might as well allow the trans community, Lia Thomas, who was a man and now is a woman, and she's competing in women's sports, women's swimming. All right, it's only fair. I don't know why people have such an issue with the whole trans community. I am not trans. I'm not trans. I'm not gay. I'm not any of that stuff. All right, I don't know the particulars of any of that stuff, but here's why it doesn't matter to me. I don't know why it matters to people, considering they make up like 0.0001% of the population or whatever. All right, the last time I saw a trans person was like maybe like a year and a half ago. I saw a trans person at some clothing store. Before that, I saw a trans person working at a Starbucks, and that was like 2 years ago. All right, and look, I don't see them around. I don't know what it has anything to do with me, because it doesn't. Same with gay people. I hardly see gay people around. All right, as far as I know, they don't make the news. With committing crimes. They don't make the news with anything that's negative. They stay within their own group. They do their own thing. They do their own thing. They don't bother anybody. The only time they make the news is when they're getting attacked, most of the time by black people. All right? I've seen so many articles where they're getting attacked and killed by black dudes. Apparently, black dudes have a thing for trans people. All right? All the times that I've seen, as far as relationships are concerned, and I've seen a couple of these relationships where there's a trans dude and they're trans, right? Well, this other guy, and for the most part, they happen to be black. I'm not even lying about that. I mean, I've seen maybe 3 instances of this. All right, and which makes me think that the group that has the most issue with this kind of kind of have issues with the whole sexuality. All right? I don't know why. I say I don't know why, but I know why there's so much in the news, because they're proxy. They're scapegoat. They, like I said before, all right, they don't, you don't see them out in the streets. They mind their own business. Why do they make the news with so many people, particularly with Republicans, with blacks who are Democrats, but then when it comes to this story, they're going to be Republican. They're going to say they're Republicans. They're going to say they're conservatives. Which is ridiculous. All right? The only time this would matter to you is if you were trans, or if you were gay, or if you were in the closet, which I'm assuming that a lot of these people who have an issue with it are in the closet. All right? For such a minor group to be getting so much hassle from blacks, white people who are conservative, people who would switch to being conservative because of this issue. You guys see all the carjackings in the news. You guys see all the muggings in the news. You guys see all the criminality in the news. And guess what color they are? Candace Owens knows what color they are. All right? She admits it. Which, you know, which is a really hard thing for a black person to do. But you got to admit the problem before you can solve it. So why isn't J.K. Rowling, why isn't she, or anybody else who has issues with trans people for whatever reason, why doesn't she just take up that cause? Why doesn't she just take up the cause of the bigger fish in the ocean? The bigger fish in the ocean is black crime. All right? Because this trans issue is just a proxy. It's just a proxy for, it's just a political proxy for conservatives, or quote unquote conservatives, to go after liberals, even though, you know, because they can't go after the blacks directly. You know, we all know what the whole crime situation with black people is. All right, let's not just you know, pretend that it doesn't exist, which the media loves to do. The media loves to pretend it doesn't exist. The media loves to pretend it doesn't exist. So go straight to them. All right? Go straight to the problem. Don't use proxies. It's a proxy. They're scapegoats. All right? You guys have scapegoated. They're the conservatives, even non-conservatives who have issues with the crimes of the black community over the last 25 years. Have done nothing but scapegoated people. Have done nothing but use proxies. All right, and it hasn't done you any good. All right, you guys went after hardworking Asian Americans for a good period of time. For whatever reason, threw them under the bus for a good 25 years. All right, as a proxy for your disdain of, you know, of other people that you can't go after directly. You know, it went from that to going after illegal immigrants. You know, even though those illegal immigrants, if they're Mexican or they're South American, their bloodline says that they are from this country, versus you who are not from this country. If you do not have any blood from the red natives, you are not from this country. You are from somewhere else, all right? They made them scapegoats. They're the hardest working people in this country, and you made them scapegoats. And then now you're making gay people, LGBTs, trans people scapegoats. Why? There's no point to that. You guys been doing it for the last 25 years. You've been doing it for the last 25 years, and all it does is destroy this country. All it does is progress. You know, if you can't complain, if you can't criticize the black issue, and it is the black issue. Let's all be serious about this. All right? It's the black issue that you guys have a problem with. Go straight to them. All you people just go straight to them. Because nobody cares about this issue with the whole trans community. You know, about how nobody cares. All right, go after the blacks. All right, don't go after anybody else, because everybody else everybody else does their thing. They come to this country, they're hardworking, they do whatever they do. I know there's good and bad in everything, but apparently there's more bad in certain races than there are in other races. I'll get flack for this. People call me a racist. I know there's hardworking black people out there, but still, all right? I've always said, keep your dogs on a leash like everybody else keeps their dogs on a leash. No other race tolerates the thuggery of their own people. All right? Nobody else does that but black people and white people and Jewish people who actually who actually will not criticize this problem for a good 25 years. They'll go out their way to just try to dig out other avenues, try to transfer that racism to other races and people, etc., etc. Don't do that. All right? Because it makes hardworking Asian Americans, Latino Americans, gay Americans, women Americans, whatever group there are out there that you guys have made as proxies for your discontent. Stop doing that. It does not benefit this country at all. All right? I see it all the time. I see it all the time. You know what the main issue is. Go after the main issue. Don't go after anybody else. I can't imagine, all right, if you know, trans, gays, whatever, Asian Americans, Latino Americans, Arab Americans commit the same amount of crimes that black people have, that the criticism of their race would be absolutely overt, and there would be no proxies as far as discussions about their race. But because you guys will not come out and criticize black people, you can't criticize Jews because they'll call you a racist or an anti-Semite, whatever. This is BS on such a freaking on such a grand level. It's just absolutely BS. There was a time where if, you know, whatever group it is that's committing all this crime, all right, they get it from everybody else. You know, in the media or whatever, it's criticized. It's not criticized for them. Let's just stop the BS on this. All right, this country, after 25 years of this, is now a third world country because people don't want to admit to a problem with a certain group of people, but yet they'll go out of their way to constantly coddle them. It's time to stop. All right? Not only is it time to stop, this whole proxy thing that you're doing with the trans needs to stop also. All right? We're in an era where you can't do that anymore. All right? We're in an era of SJWs. We're in an era of social media. We're in an era of cancel culture. Okay, you guys did that previously to Asian Americans, to Latino Americans, illegal Americans, women, etc., etc. Every other group, you guys, you know, instead of going directly to the issue, you guys transferred that racism to another group. Guys can't do that anymore. You guys come out bad. You know, come out looking bad doing that. And as far as blacks concerned who are like big on this issue, I noticed the Amazing Lucas is huge on this issue. You know, this is the only reason why the Amazing Lucas is considers himself a conservative, because of this issue. All right? This is the only reason. Guys, You guys spent the last 25 years protesting, rioting, using the race card, canceling people out for the last 25 years for the benefit of your race. You guys created the whole SJW movement. You guys created, the race cut, the SJW, cancel culture. The original alphabet people are you guys and the Jews. You guys are the original alphabet people. So if you guys are the original alphabet people, why are you criticizing any other group for wanting better for their own people? All right, you guys, and using social media to do it, using protests to do it, using cancel. These are you guys. You guys set up the blueprints for all of this. All right, I saw an interview with John Cleese who says that cancel culture is a relatively new thing. It's not a relatively new thing. It's been around since the Jews created anti-Semitism, the term. It's been around since the blacks created the race card. It's been around for decades and decades and decades and decades. All right? Stop with your BS.